So you just got yourself a sweet Z. You're so excited to race every guy you encounter on the road, but you realize that the oil change is way overdue and it's time to do some maintenance at home. Here's what the guy on Facebook Marketplace didn't mention when he sold you the car. It sits 5 inches off the ground. That means there is no way you're getting to the oil pan and the oil filter under here because your head is more than 5 inches in diameter. No problem, that's what jacks are for. Head off to Walmart and grab yourself a nice $50 jack. It's cheap, it's lightweight, and it's got a huge capacity. It's plenty strong for this car. The problem is, even though you can get it under there, it's got nothing that it can reach. Under here is all plastic. No metal for about another 15 inches before that guy gets there. Now this is the jack point. That's the little spot where you can actually jack it up with the jack that comes with the car. So let's use that. You just pop it out of the spare tire well, slide this little square right here up underneath that jack hole, put this little crank in here and spin for the rest of your Saturday and begin to hate your car minute by minute. There's no way you're using this. Don't waste all your time with jacks. Just drive it up on a pair of ramps. Look, uh-oh, the air dam is gonna hit the ramp. That's not gonna matter anyway, because guess what? You just bought a rear wheel drive. The rear wheels are gonna push, the front wheels are just gonna roll, and you're gonna shove these ramps all the way across the garage until you're in the bedroom. Not gonna work. You will save yourself a ton of money if you learn to work on this car yourself, but you're not gonna do it with this. And you can't do it with that. And you can't do it with that. Enter the Road Dawg. I just got this guy. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by anybody, but what I love about this jack is that it has this sweet 24-inch lifting range. It doesn't matter how far you can pick up your beautiful new 370Z. What matters is how far you can go under it, and that's where the 24-inch lifting range comes in. Because that 24 inches is not just how high, but how deep the skinny section is. Here's what I mean. This is the difference between your crappy $50 Walmart jack and how much of a lifting range it's got, and how far the other jack can get underneath your sweet 370. So it's gonna take a little bit of money, but you're gonna save a lot of money in the long run, and you're gonna protect your car, and I'll show you how this works. I like to protect her car when I go under with a long jack because I don't want any scratches down there on the rocker panel. And you've got to actually take this jack, even as big as it is, all the way until it's in contact with the car. That's with the jack seated all the way under the car. I could go to this tow hook right here, but I don't want to put all the weight on that if I've got this wider frame member. So I'm going to go just in front of the plastic shield. Once again, that shop rag is protecting her paint. So I'm going to use that frame member, jack up from this distance, and now of course it's clear of the paint, and it'll let me almost turn this car over because this thing has a 24-inch reach. When you buy a jack, look for how long the reach is, because you'll find them that have a low profile with only 15 inches of actual reach. Well, that's also how far they'll go underneath the car, not just how far they can pick the car up. So this has got a 24-inch reach and a 2 3/4 inch clearance, and it works great with this car. Okay, so now look, I pumped it up just part of the way, and it's tipping the whole car very nicely, right? You can see how nice it fits on that frame member. It's not damaging the frame, it's not bending it, it's not even messing up the plastic shielding behind it. And the car is tipping over pretty much from the middle. The center of gravity of this car is somewhere about here. So I'm probably 1.5 feet or 2 feet behind it, but it's gonna be just fine lifting there, because if I lift back here, I either have to take that shield off, which is gonna be a pain in the hiney, or damage it, and I don't wanna do that. So I'm gonna keep lifting, and always remember that you need a jack stand. The only thing holding this car up is a column of hydraulic fluid inside that jack, which is brand new. I have no reason to even trust it yet. And if something goes wrong with that jack and that hydraulic fluid spews out for some reason or another, that's gonna come down really fast and kill me. So I'm gonna put a nice cheap Harbor Freight jack right in there. I may even put it right underneath the plastic shielding because it doesn't have to carry all the weight. It just has to be in there as a safety factor if for any reason something goes wrong with the jack. All right, now you can see I still got a lot of jack left. I haven't come anywhere close to my 24-inch lifting range, But now my jack stand will slide under. I even raised it up just one notch on the adjustable detents in order to try and get a little bit more clearance. And I put it real close to the frame member so that if for any reason it slips, it doesn't have a chance to gain some speed, land on the jack stand, and push the jack stand out of the way. So I'm gonna leave it like that because I don't need to get underneath this range while I'm changing the oil. And that way I've got a redundant support and the jack is taking most of the load without messing up any of the plastic. The reason I like this approach for an oil change on this car is because the drain plug bolt is right there and then the filter's right here. And so both of those things are on the right side of the car, the passenger side of the car, and when you jack the driver's side, it tips the whole car so that everything runs this direction. If I was to jack it any other direction, it actually tries to keep oil inside the drain pan and makes it a little harder to get it all out. So this works in my favor instead of against me. So that's how it looks. I think it's pretty safe. I love this approach. It just cost me a couple $100 for the jack. I hope that helps. Thanks a lot for watching.